Raiders at Rams.
So I locked in this line on Monday. This was my best pick. It was Rams -5. I said Monday on this show, I'm taking this to blazing 5. I said it 5 times. I don't care what the number is now. It is 5. They're getting Cooper Kupp, Rob Havenstein, the right tackle, Jordan Whittingham at wide receiver. They're getting healthier. And Stafford's been very good at home. In 4 or 5 home games this year, he's been 100-plus passer rated. Kyron Williams, 8 straight games rushing, touchdown. So I like the Rams when they get healthy offensively. The Raiders only win. Okay, they've lost 3 or 4 games. The only win in that stretch is the Browns. Aiden O'Connell, no scrambles, 440 dropbacks. A totally immobile quarterback with a 62% completion percentage. They can't defend the run. They are all banged up across the board, and now Devontae Adams is gone. Rams win, pull away in the second half, 24-14. I'm taking 5. I announced it. I declared it on Monday.
Okay, so let's talk about this. This is actually a sneaky, interesting game for me. I mean, I do think the Rams, right, when actually fully healthy, Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, they would be a significantly better team than what their record shows them to be. But like I talked about a couple weeks ago in terms of the Raiders and how the team can use the Devontae Adams trade as kind of a rallying cry, right? Like, and now that he's finally out the door, these players are going to have a lot of these meetings and coach speak where it's very much like, if you don't want to be here, no one's forcing you to. The door's there. By all means, go. If not, prove you want to be here. Prove that you belong. Prove that you want to be, a Raider, and all of that type of stuff, right? Things that I've heard one too many times. And so, to me, this is where we will also kind of see if there's any unification for the Las Vegas Raiders, right? What this season looks like, because obviously the Rams can be beaten, right? They have not been able to really compete this season, and even one of their wins was kind of quite fluky, to be honest with you. So I'm curious, because if the Raiders drop this game, then there's the real potential of the Raiders then moving on from Max Crosby, right? Because Max might just be like, man, guys, I did everything I could. Please send me to a contender. I've done it all, right? And then the Raiders just go back into this ultimate rebuild, right? And then it's like, maybe it's just like, okay, the Raiders want to keep losing and losing and losing. Maybe they can then try to get like a Shedeur Sanders or something. Again, I'm not saying with confidence. It's just they will unload potentially their team, just fill up on draft picks, and really just go in a true all-in rebuild. If they win, it still just kind of makes things interesting. It still then is kind of, where we're at. And then I know they just hired their coach, but I don't know. Like I said, if they just keep losing and things keep falling apart, it wouldn't surprise me where they're, what the direction that they end up going in. Because it's like, if they lose this game versus the Rams and it is like 24-14, then there's potential to see a lot of losses, right? There's just a potential for them just to kind of rip off loss after loss after loss after loss. And I do think you'll have some players, of course, disgruntled and angry and upset, and they will want to leave. And so at this point, my direct question to Raiders fans is this: what do you want to see this season? Do you want them to fight for a playoff spot? Do you want to see them kind of get on a little run and kind of get some Aiden O'Connell magic or Minshew magic back in the lineup, whatever it may be? Or are you kind of like, you know what, the season is not going to unfold as we hoped, and we're not good enough, we're losing players, let's just unload everyone, let's get draft picks, let's go rebuild, let's go all in for the next season and the season after, let's get a quarterback, a true number one, and let's go, right? How do you feel about your current head coach right now? Do you think it was a mistake to hire him, or do you think like, no, he's still the guy, right? Like, where do you genuinely stand as a true Raiders fan? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out at this point. Because I had a great understanding of what the Raiders were expecting and what they wanted, what they were hoping for in the beginning of this season and the offseason going onward. And now this season has just kind of taken a few lefts and rights and ups and downs as the season has unfolded. And I'm just really curious, where do you stand right now, honestly, right? Like what is the perspective of this team and where do you want to go? Because the Raiders have such a proud and intense fan base, and it just feels like over these last however many years, there hasn't been enough, right? There just hasn't been enough to kind of carry the Raiders' way, right? You know, who the Raiders are, what they can be, right? And I'm just curious, what will it take for them to get back to that, right? What will it take for them to be a bunch of bullies for the Chiefs, for the Chargers, for the Broncos, right? What will it be for them to be like, hey, everyone keeps assuming that it's going to be the Chiefs that are going to win the division, or that now it's going to be maybe the Chargers, or heck, maybe even the Broncos, but like you guys keep acting like we're nothing, like we're the Jacksonville Jaguars of the division. Like, get out of here. That's not us. So I'm just curious, what do you think the Raiders fundamentally need to do to ultimately right this ship, to become truly relevant again? Because we can see how quickly things can change. Look at the Commanders. The Commanders are a perfect example of this. They got the coach, they got the coordinator, they got the new quarterback. Boom. Instantly competing for a division. Instantly. They don't even have this awesome, great stacked roster. They don't. That's why no one was really picking them to even make the playoffs. I did. But vast majority weren't. And now they're instantly fighting for not only a playoff spot, but the division. They're leading the division. And their future looks way brighter right now than the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New York Giants. So make no mistake about it. Things can change so quickly. You get the coach, you get the quarterback, boom. That alone changes things tremendously. And again, fast. Very, very, very quickly. So I'm just curious, what decisions do you want to see the Raiders do at this point? Do you want to see them make some decisions to try to keep winning this season, to fight for a playoff spot? The season's not lost. Or do you want to see them say, you know what? The season's over. We're done. Players left, injuries. We don't have the quarterback. We don't maybe have the coach again. I'm just saying, like, whatever you guys feel, I definitely want to hear. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.